Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is now episode 3 of my Preston Championship Career Mode, and again a massive thank you for all the support you've shown on the series so far. So we are kicking this episode off by having the friendlies, and I obviously decided to sim them. Our first one was against St Mirren there, which we drew 1-1, which wasn't too bad at all. I'm not really that bothered about friendlies. I put a second team up just because I don't want injuries, and so what we are doing now, we are inquiring about some strikers, as I am still in the market to get a striker. I inquire about some more expensive ones, some cheaper ones. Someone like Paddy Madden would be an absolutely fantastic buy, and then someone like Pogba, the striker, would be a much more physical sort of player. And I also inquire about Lee Hodson, the MK Dons right back, as we are also still in the market for a right back. And as you can see, MK Dons come back and say they want 625 grand for him, which it's so much. Players cost so much this year on career mode. It's absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see what we can do with the funds and that lot. And then we go into our second friendly here, and we manage to get a win. Carl Reid picking up the goal. And as you can see that I am playing my second team, as I don't want to get injuries. I don't see a point in it. So a big talking point of last episode was Paul Huntington, and he refused the contract, and honestly, what I have decided to do, he feels he's underpaid, he's not happy at the club, so I have put him on the transfer list. It pains me to say it, as he was such a big part of Preston's promotion last season, but I am going to be putting him onto the transfer list, as I feel that he is replaceable, and I also think that he can bring in a bit of funds for us. And as you can see, he actually scores there against Lyon in the 2-0 win that we get. So we get a transfer offer here for Jack Ryan from Shamrock Rovers on a loan deal, which I decided to accept. No, I've got no problems with Jack Ryan going out on loan. I think it will be good for his development. And as you can see here, I get two offers here. I get an offer for Neil Kilkenny, which I didn't really know what to do with this, to be honest, because Neil Kilkenny, he's not crucial. I'd like to keep him, but he's not crucial to us. And then we also get a bid for Paul Huntington from his former club, Leeds United, which I counter-offer to 650 grand. I'd be happy to get that amount of money for Paul Huntington, and then we see what we can do with that. So we also send Nick Anderton out on loan to Bradford, and the Neil Kilkenny offer comes back, and I really didn't know what to do for it. So what I decided to do was I decided to counter offer it for 700 grand, because I was thinking, you know what, if you're willing to pay 700 grand for Neil Kilkenny, you can have him. We can replace him for that amount of money. So I thought that if they did actually take that, they would be absolutely mad. But as you can see, Leeds came back with another offer, and Nottingham Forest actually decided to put in the bid for 600 grand for Neil Kilkenny, which was insane. I decided to accept the Leeds offer for Huntington, as he is unsettled, and I also accept the deal for Neil Kilkenny. So that's two players that have actually departed the club, it's a bit of a shame, in all honesty, but they're both replaceable, which is what I was thinking when I got rid of them. So going into the first game of the series, we have a cup game against Cardiff City, and so Cardiff would be, I'd say that we'd look to be winning this, as even though I'm putting out a weaker team, Cardiff will probably be the sort of side that we are, quite level with in terms of how good our squads are, maybe. So this is the team I decided to go for. As you can see, it's nowhere near full strength. I've got Andy Little and Jordan Hugill up front. I've got Seaball making a debut, Ben Pringle making a debut, Kellett making a debut at left back, and I've also got Stuckman in net as well, trying out one or two players and seeing how good they are. So early on in the match, Ben Pringle goes on a fantastic run. He gets past about 4 players and gets his shot away, but the goalkeeper makes an excellent save to deny him, which was really unfortunate. Ben Pringle just didn't manage to get his first goal of the series. Then Pringle whips in the corner here. They almost managed to clear it. It falls as far as Kellett, who hits it, and the goalkeeper makes another excellent save. And this goalkeeper really was going to be a problem for us going forward, but they then had a chance and they absolutely blaze it over the bar. I'm not sure how they managed to miss by that far. It was absolutely ridiculous how far it went over the bar, but then they come forward in the last minute of the first half and they just put together this. It's a fantastic move from them, good passing move. They managed to whip it in, it hits the bar. We don't manage to clear our lines properly. It falls as far as Peter Whittingham, who then puts it in the back of the net. Really unfortunate, but it was sloppy defending. Stuckman couldn't have done anything about it. He was already out out of position from the earlier shot, and Whittingham just fires it in to the top corner. I mean, is that Tom Clark that just sat in the back of the net? We weren't prepared for this, and this is Championship life. We need to get a bit sharper at the back, and especially now we're not going to have Huntington. But we made an instant reply with Ben Pringle, who fires it into the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic goal from Ben Pringle there to score his first goal for Preston on his debut. It was absolutely fantastic, and against a good keeper as well. I think it was Hugel with the assist who played Pringle, and then Pringle just absolutely rockets it into the bottom corner. He had Andy Little there, who, if he wanted to, he could have squared it, but Pringle was always going to go for goal, and that is what we want to see from Ben Pringle. We want him to be amongst the goals this season, as I think he could be a fantastic asset for us going forward. And then Cardiff come back with this, but look at this save from Stuckman. Oh my days, he does amazing there to claw it back off the line. He does absolutely insane to keep that one out, but then their defence makes a huge error. Jordan Hugel pounces on the ball, and then he finds the back of the net to make it 2-1 to PNE. Jordan Hugel, who, he could be a starter this season, He's a young player, he's hungry for the first team action, I'm sure, and, he shows it there. He wins the ball off the defender really well, and look at that finish. Straight into the bottom corner against a fantastic goalkeeper in, I think, is it Marshall, the Cardiff keeper? And it was just an excellent finish all around to get it past the goalkeeper. And that is 2-1 Preston. And as you can see, Stuckman celebrating there, all to do with that save before, Maybe even Stuckman could force his way into the starting 11, who knows. And then that is how that finished. We actually won our first game of this new season, 2-1. It was only a cup match, but it does mean that we will progress in the cup. And honestly, for cup games, I'm probably going to be playing my second team for most games. But as you can see here, the two players have sold. So Paul Huntington and Neil Kilkenny have both sold. But look at the amount of transfer funds I have now. I can get that up to 2 million, which is absolutely massive for this series, which means that we can bring in a lot more players. So this is the team that I decided to go for the Ipswich match, the first game of the season. And as you can see, I am playing on world class for every game in this series, and I decided to put Pringle in instead of Gallagher, as I thought he did well in the cup match. But honestly, nothing happened in the first half, so we have to wait until the second half for our first highlight. Beckford plays in Garner after some sloppy defending. The keeper makes a good save, but then Garner pounces on the rebound, and he manages to make it 1-0 to Preston. Honestly, nothing at all happened in the first half. I think they had one shot, but there was no shots on target. It was really boring, but Garner makes it 2-1 just after the second half had begun with a fantastic finish. Dean Gerken was never going to keep that one out, and it was expertly finished off by Joe Garner. And our championship season seemed to get off to a fantastic start, which was excellent, but that didn't turn out to be the case. They come straight back up the pitch. Bit of sloppy defending once again. We put a few blocks in here and there, which is good to see. It shows we're committed, but then they just do that and put it in the top corner. Sam Johnson, possibly he could have done a bit better there. I'd expect a bit more from a 67 rated keeper, but goalkeepers on this game are always going to make mistakes. And just like that, it was 1-1 in the click of a finger after one defensive lapse in concentration, which was really frustrating, as I felt we'd done well to get the lead. We'd held it 0-0 for the whole of the first half, and it was a fantastic passing move, but players were out of position, and he just sort of curled it around Sam Johnson there. Look at the finish there. It was an excellent finish. Sam Johnson a bit slow to get up to it, but if you're looking at it there, it was a fantastic finish, and it meant that we were back to square one with 1-1, which was really, unfortunate. But Daniel Johnson does very well here to get into a good shooting position, manages to go around one or two men, and what a save that was from Dean Gerken. We really couldn't afford that. We really needed those chances to go in. In League One, that's probably a goal, but Gerken makes a fantastic save. And then in the last minute, Hunt does this to us and puts it into the back of the net. I was absolutely devastated, as Ipswich obviously made the playoffs last season, and I would have happily taken a draw from this match. It was always going to be tough, but Hunt puts it into the back of the net in the 90th minute. I was absolutely devastated, and Sam Johnson, I've got to be asking questions of Sam Johnson after that, as he was beaten at his near post. And that is the way that match finished. It finished 2-1 to Ipswich after we'd been 1-0 up, and we dominated so much of the match, which was so unfortunate for us. And, you know, that's just what we've got to get used to in the Championship, it seems. We've got to get used to putting our chances away when we get them. We've got to be much more clinical. So here is the transfer allocation we now have. As you can see, we've got more around 2 million, so it's definitely a lot more to work with. And that will wrap it up for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here, and I will see you all in the next one.